What's up, everybody? This is Andrew Lozano with my co-host Isaac Rodz and Coach Sal over here. How you doing?
Coach Sal from Redemption Boxing.
This is Real Talk on 97.7 The City, and we got a very special guest today. I'll let Coach Sal introduce him for you.
Well, all the way from New Mexico, Las Cruces, New Mexico, staying in H-Town.
You already know.
My boy, no doubt, Austin Trout.
No diggity. No doubt. What up? What up? Real Talk. What's happening? RGV,
Man,
the Valley.
It was. Let me get the mic real quick, man. It was a crazy story how we had to come out across town and grab you, man. I thought the interview wasn't about to happen, but man, we salvaged it. We got everything going.
Coach Sal forgot a little bit.
Man, that's the life.
He's got a good excuse though. What happened?
That's the life of a coach. You know what I mean? So
he's training the youth
first.
Yeah, he's training the youth, getting them right for their future.
Like
so we're okay with that.
Good.
Pick it up like a fumble, huh?
Yeah, I gotta pick it up like a
Yes,
fumble.
sir.
And
Already.
of course, this is Real Talk, Austin. So we're about to talk very real with you about the boxing game, about the entertainment business, and stuff like that. So right here, my boy, Mr. Lozano.
Yes, sir.
He's very connected with the Vipers. He's actually,
Yes, sir.
present yourself for the
Yeah,
Vipers.
so I'm an account executive for the Vipers. I handle ticket sales and stuff.
Executive, man. Y'all hear that title?
Anything you want to
Shout
do
out to the
Vipers. Sponsorships, you want to work with us, partner up, you know. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sponsorships. I'm with that. Yeah.
There you go.
So, man, yeah, we just wanted to get you out here. Thank you for coming again. We just wanted to talk a little bit about the fight you got going on tomorrow. So, yeah, man, how you feeling? You ready to go? Or?
Yeah, I'm fed. I'm ready to eat still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first battle is always the weigh-in, and that's all I really could look at. But now the weigh-in's done. All I can see is this fight tomorrow. So, I'm going to try to get some rest, but it's usually a little hard to go to sleep because I'm too busy just going over what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah,
Now let me tell you something. As a boxing coach, I was there. I saw you going up. We're chopping it up. We're talking. You went up. When you went up, you turned that switch.
You saw it, yeah.
You turned that switch right away. You took his soul out. You look at his eyes. He didn't even want to look at you no more.
It was go time. I feel you, and I felt it though. As soon as I went on the stage, 'cause everything's cordial. It's a gentleman's sport. Much love to my opponent. Much respect to my opponent. I have nothing ill against him. But when the time comes, it's me against him. He's about to take my food off my plate.
Exactly.
And I take that very personal. So it was all good. Like, we did the weigh-ins in the bag. Just the one up top was for sure. I gave him a pound and all that. It's in the back. But then when it came to having to see each other up on the stage, as soon as I stepped on stage, it's like, oh yeah.
It's go time.
Yeah, ain't no more friendly shit. No more. Excuse my life. No more friendliness. Let's go. Let's fight.
It's go time. Yeah. D, you want to say anything with?
Man, I just want you to know, bro, the RGV is excited to see this fight. We already called in the knockout. We chopped it up right before we got here. It was a mission to get him back over here, but we made it happen. So, the RGV is going to come out, show love, and appreciate you just coming through and pulling up on us.
I appreciate the Valley, man. I am too from the Rio Grande Valley, but
Here we go.
You know what I mean?
Here we go.
I'm from the other side of Texas, from El Paso, raised in Las Cruces, but near the Rio Grande my whole life. So
That's crazy.
shout out to the Rio Grande Valley. This is like home. You know what I mean? It's very much similar to home.
Yeah, of course.
Going back to where you're from and your home, how did this whole fighting come about? How did you decide you wanted to be a boxer professionally?
So honestly, I was always a boxer fan. My mom was a big boxer fan. My whole family. And I remember she would have fights shown at the house.
Yeah.
And she would say things like, "That's what real men look like. This is a real man sport. It's one of the hardest sports. It's if you want to be a real man, you should do something like that." Little did she know that I was listening the whole time, and I thought you had to go to like Philly to be a boxer. I didn't know that Las Cruces, New Mexico had any gyms, right? So when I was about 10 years old, we were eating at this place called the Double Eagle Restaurant. Shout out to Double Eagle. And the waiter, he talked a lot, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I be boxing." And I was like, "What? Where?" And he was like, "Just right there on Solano." But I'm like, "No way."
me.
I could box here. Yeah, like, Ma, please take me. Of course, she didn't take me. It took a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I made her take me, and it was like love at first sight. Also, I should note, I was real small for my age, so basketball, football wasn't necessarily calling me.
But
You know what I mean?
but I heard you play middle linebacker somewhere around.
Yeah, I did try. In 8th grade, I played linebacker for Lynn Middle School, man. Yeah.
Trout in
Shout
the
out to Lynn.
linebacker position, huh?
That was my only year of football. Me being athletic and having heart, I did well enough. But my mother was like, "Yeah, can you get back to fighting people that are your size, please?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I will."
So tell everybody, what does it take to be a professional boxer?
Well, let me tell you. Let me start with like this. Honestly, it doesn't really take much to be a professional boxer. You can say, "I want to fight pro." You get paid to fight, and then now you're pro, even if it was just $1. So that's the difference between boxing and other sports, because once you get into boxing as a pro, it's so easy. You're not guaranteed to make money though. Whereas basketball, football, especially baseball, once you hit the pros, you guarantee to make money, but it's extremely hard to get there. So that's kind of the flip side of boxing. So like, what it takes to be pro, really nothing. Like someone says, "Hey, I'll pay you $1 to fight on this card," and you're like, "Yeah, boom, you're a pro. You got your license. You're a professional." But to be a successful pro that doesn't have to work, right? Like let this be your only job. It takes a lot. I'll tell you my path, and I can tell you how hard the path has been. And it's not to dissuade anybody. It's just to let people have an idea of what you got to put in to get something out of it. So I was a 2004 Olympic alternate, meaning had the Olympian, Vanis Martirosyan, shout out to Vanis. I still owe him one, though. If the Olympian got hurt or disqualified for any reason, I was going to fight. So I went to Athens, Greece. I got to see that. I was sparring with the whole Olympic team, the whole shebang. I was a national champion. Turning pro, I thought for sure I'm going to make money as jump off the bag. It was not the case. I remember my pro debut was in New Mexico, September 20th, 2005. And it was in Albuquerque, New Mexico on the Holly Holm versus, hold on. Christy Martin. Holly Holm versus Christy Martin undercard. Shout out to Holly Holm, New Mexico royalty right there. Yeah. And had my first fight. I got $1,000. I was like, man, let's go in the money.
Let's go.
My next 3 fights, I ain't get paid $1, bro. And this went on. I would go and fight, get maybe $100 here, go over there, fight, get a couple, $100 there. But it was really nothing to sustain me, so to speak. It wasn't really up until my 21st pro fight where I made like some real money, and that was in Mexico. I was in Guadalajara fighting Rigoberto Alvarez, the big brother of Canelo Alvarez, and that was for a world title, the WBA world title. Then I finally made like an $80,000 check. I'm like, man, I'm in it. I made it.
Let's get it.
I made it. Yeah.
Show me the money.
But even after that, $80,000 is good money. But you forget. You got to pay your promoter, your manager, your coach, your strength and conditioning, and the government, right? So from that, 80 grand, I probably took home like 15, 20,000, if that. And that happened to, a lot. So I'm like looking at how my shit was how my, hold on, edit that. Looking at how my check was cut up, I was like, how am I supposed to make this? I don't understand. I'm going to have to fire everybody. No coach, no management. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it took a while. I was about 25, 26 and 0 when the check was enough to sustain the whole year. So, 25 fights, was broke the whole time. But, I knew the end game was going to be as a world champion. It really wasn't about the money came. So if you're doing this for money, man, the money will never come. But you got to do this for your passion, for legacy, and the money will come.
Amen.
So that being said, what advice do you have for young fighters coming up who are getting their first big check and finally seeing what real money looks like. What do you advise for those kind of fighters?
Save that ish. Put it away. I know you want to go get you, a car, some clothes, some jewelry. I did it, and the jewelry I have, I still got it, but I don't wear it. You know what I'm saying? It's such a waste of money. Now, unless you're gonna get jewelry for investment, that's a different thing, right? There's appreciating value in jewelry, but focus on, your portfolio, real estate, stocks, all that boring stuff that you're not gonna see really any return for a while, but that's fine. You put your money, let your money work for you. That was one of the biggest lessons I ended up learning. It cost $1 million basically to learn it. So take this $1 million piece of advice, save that money, and let the dividends of your investments or the return on your investments pay for your liabilities. And other than that, only thing you should ever pay is an asset. And first thing you got to figure out is what's an asset, what's a liability. All the time, it's not necessarily a house. Because if the housing market, depending on what it's doing, especially right now, you know what I mean? But if you're buying a rental property or maybe a duplex or something where you live in one and rent out the other, that's an asset. Something that's making money while you sleep. So focus on the assets. Screw the cars, the girls, the money, forget all that. You know what I mean? They're going to come, trust me. Once those assets start, reaping the benefits, all that'll come, But just suffer now. You've been suffering this whole time anyway. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to look rich before you are actually rich.
Yo. So what was one of your hardest fights, bro? Who do you think would be the hardest fight? You could say the big names, but
yeah. Well, of course, Canelo was my first loss. First time I ever been dropped. It was definitely a good fight.
Yeah.
Lara was probably one of my hardest fights, and Lara because technical. Every fight I've ever been in, even the ones I lost, I always was like, man, I wish I had another round. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I just had one more round, he was fading or this, that, and third. With Lara, it was probably like the 8th round. I'm like, what round is it? 8? I wish this was over already. I had no answers for him. He had me mentally, definitely. But there's another fight that's been unseen. No one really got to see, and I asked the WBA to give me the ticket for it. Yeah, and it was against a Nelson Tapia down in Panama. He was from Colombia. He was probably one of my toughest fights as well. That fight got me to rank in the top 3, and it was a great fight. You know what I mean? I got hurt for the first time, sucked it up, pulled my nuts up, and just beat him up. For the rest of the fight. It was real back and forth, and I need that footage because it was a great fight.
That's crazy. And I'm going to touch base on one of my favorite fights of yours was the Miguel Cotto fight, man. That was a crazy moment for you. I think it was like a pivotal point in your career.
Absolutely.
Where a lot of things started changing. You started getting a little bit more recognition. What was it like going into Madison Square with a Canelo-packed crowd, Cotto packed crowd cheering for the opposing fighter?
Yeah, so it was crazy. And it's crazy because I could see myself walking down the hall, right? And they're about to announce me because they had me going first. And you get to the edge of the runway, we're about to walk out, and the people that are right there, they can see you. So as soon as they saw me, man, and look, Puerto Ricans are very funny with their insults. You know what I mean? They got some very special New Yorkers. New York Ricans are very witty with the insults, and I remember that they was giving me the business, and it was like a wall of booze, but at the same time, none of that bothered me because I'm looking in the garden. The first thing I see up there in the lights is Austin Trout, Las Cruces, New Mexico. WBA champion, right?
Sir.
In the lights.
Wow.
So all that is they were talking, it did not faze me because that right there was the only thing I saw and really the only thing I heard. And when I got into the ring, I do my rounds looking tough and whatnot, and I looked at it again, it was like,
made it.
That's me.
Made it.
There you go.
It's your time.
I mean, looking around at the crowd, everybody's booing me, but I felt like as if they're cheering for me because they were all there for me. No matter how you look at it, whether it was to see me get beat or to see me win, they were there to see me.
There you go.
And
that was definitely a fight where you were like the underdog.
Oh yeah,
you were
big
the
time.
underdog. And then what did it feel like to come out on top with your glove in the air after that fight?
I thought they were gonna rob me, to be honest. So I even after the fight was over, and I was like, man, I put all those rounds in the bag. Once they announced my name, I was still shocked. I was like, oh, they gave it to me. man. But I remember in the 6th round. It's like the 6th round. From 1 to 5, the crowd was crazy. They went crazy for everything he did, even though he didn't do much. By the 6th round, they shut up. And I remember it was quiet. And all I could hear was somebody say, "Yo, I can't believe this is really happening, son." And I looked over like, this is happening.
It's happening. There you go.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's crazy. Man. That's crazy. So that's definitely one of my favorite fights, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of mine too. It's one of my best wins. I've been trying to chase that type of high again. Yeah.
For sure. So fight tomorrow, Payne Arena, 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all show up. You have anything else you want to add to the interview, man, or?
No, shout out to y'all for bringing me in. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate you coming.
Shout out to the whole Rio Grande Valley, because I know y'all gonna show up and show out. Honestly, whether you for me or against me, just come on. Come on. We need that energy. Show love. If you going for Sanchez Charles, come give him your support. You know what I mean? He worked hard for this fight, and he's gonna be in one hell of a fight tomorrow. So he's gonna need y'all.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah. Well, I got one question.
There you go. Let's see.
Me as a coach, it was a privilege for me working with you.
Privilege was mine too, man.
And not only a huge fan, but tell the people what you got coming up next.
Not looking past anything, right? Because if what I need to happen tomorrow doesn't happen, in my mind, I feel like everything else is gone. And I've always had that feeling, which is why I feel like I'm been where I am. But tomorrow goes to plan. February 17th, I got a bare knuckle fight. It's going to be Austin Trout versus Diego Sanchez, a big old battle for New Mexico. And, New Mexico should be real happy about that.
Sanchez?
Yeah, the OG UFC, Diego Sanchez.
The OG, no doubt Trout, baby.
So we're going to go ahead and scrap it up. Puro Nuevo Mexico style, man. You're going to see.
Hey, shout out. There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any other questions you guys might have for him? Before we leave? No?
I got another question.
I feel like you got a couple
another
questions
question.
built up, man.
I got a lot of questions. Me also being in the boxing game, I know a little bit here and there.
Cool style.
I missed out media workout. But on that press conference, when you came in, you turned heads right away. Everybody knew it was that legend. Austin Trout just showed up in the room.
That's love,
so
right?
When you come into the Payne Arena, is the legend gonna show up, or it's just another fight?
Oh no, it's every performance got to be a legendary performance. I don't believe I can get past Sanchez if it just regular Trout shows up. So I can't take no chance in coming regular for any fight.
That switch is gonna be on.
It's got to be on. It's all or nothing, right?
No
Just
doubt,
like
Trout.
this is Sanchez. Charlie's biggest fight of his life is the biggest fight of my life too.
Exactly.
It's not in the Garden. It's not in the Alamo Dome. It's right here in the Payne Arena. The biggest fight of my life. Because if it don't go right, you know what I'm saying, it could possibly be over. And that's how I always felt for every fight. I don't care how big or how small it is. And I don't look at this fight as a small fight, and I won't look at the next fight as a small fight. So the legend got to show up.
There you go.
One of my fighters texted me. He's a national champion. He's over there in Lubbock, Texas right now. Shout out to Isco.
Yeah, should give his whole name, man.
Isco Samaripa,
First
Young Flash.
future champ.
Okay, future champ, of course. He tells me, he's like, hey, coach, tell Mr. Trout, is this the loneliest sport or is it another sport?
This is the only sport I know, but I can't think of any other sport that is lonelier than this one, man, because at the end of the day, yeah, you got a team. And I'm as good as my team for real, but at the same time, my team is really only as good as me.
Exactly.
And it's all on me. And they could sit there and tell me everything they want to do, tell me, but it don't matter. If I can't get that execution in there, like that's me that's going to pay for that, so to speak. Even through training, again, my coaches are right there with me every day in the gym, so they know what I'm going through. But I go home, you know what I'm saying, the wife, she may have a little sense of what's happening. She knows like I'm tired, my body's tired, but she can never understand the mental and emotional toll that this game takes on you.
Exactly.
I know a lot of boxers, and we all about the same way. We get, I don't want to call it hormonal, but it's like the emotions get high. Just everything's built up. It's very tense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, you're going to get into a fight with another trained professional. So everything got to be on point. Stress is up, emotions are up, everything's up. The testosterone's up. You know, I'm mad for no reason. I can't eat what I want to eat. I can't do what I want to do, and it's all because of this sport I love. You know what I mean? So it is a lonely sport. No matter how good your team is, you know, you got to be able to be okay with being alone.
Discipline.
Yeah.
A lot of discipline. That's real talk right there.
Real talk.
Real talk. All right.
Real talk, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, that pretty much that sums it up, man. I appreciate you coming out and being our first ever guest.
Oh, the first. This is episode 1. Oh man. That's
First
what's up.
episode, and we got a high caliber guest like you. I really appreciate it, man. We thank you and good luck on your fight tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to elevate my game because I know y'all gonna just keep going up.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna have to get onto my Denzel Washington stats by the time I get back.
You see a future at movies or something like
mean,
that?
I could do.
You got acting coming up?
Yeah, give me a part, man. I'm good at everything I do. You know what I mean? If I can practice just a little bit, I'll be able to do it.
Any last shout outs, Austin?
Shout out to HoustonBoxingClasses.com. Shout out to Rocksteady Boxing. Those are some of the little businesses I have down there.
There you go. How can they follow you on social media?
At No Doubt Trout. One word across the board. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
There you go. Mr. Austin, No Doubt Trout. Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.